But Manuel, but literalmente, you told me you don't like to be asked about anything. Literalmente.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Fiancé.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, yes, let's love.
I lost my shit when she said literalmente.
Is that a real word, or did she just do what this is very offensive, but when I was drunk in Mexico my freshman year of college, I just put, like Mom Karen, mente at the end of words to make it sound like Spanish.
No, I think that is literalmente.
Literalmente.
My favorite also is when she's like, "Oh Dios mío, cree que voy a llorar." When I was like, "I'm gonna cry," and I wrote down, "Feo llorar, ugly cry."
Okay, well, I just looked up literal, and Spanish is literal. Literal.
Well, literally. That's what I'm look up literally, and it's literalmente. I bet you
Let's see.
literalmente.
Oh, it is. It is.
Literalmente. I laughed like a fool every time she does this, and when she gets angry and emotional, her Spanish takes on more of a Valley Girl Latin accent or Valley Girl accent.
It does. I also enjoy someone. I've never met someone in my life who gets emotional and starts going, "I'm gonna cry." She tells us she's gonna cry the way like a download married man tells me he's about to nut. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm going nut.
I'm gonna nut. You ready? I'm about to nut. And that's the way she's like, "I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I cried. I cried. I'm crying. I cried."
Creo que voy a llorar.
She's going to be around for a long time. They are 90-day gold. They almost kind of harken back to there's an essence of old 90-day with them, to me.
Maybe. The problem is it's a little want to be an influencer. In there
Totally,
too.
they all are, but they
didn't used to be. That's not what I'm saying.
No, but I think it's the great Manuel being kind of a fish out of water trope with someone who they're both living on different planets. I don't think either of them are living on Earth.
Didn't the preview for like the season say she's $100,000 in debt?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see that?
I don't know. Think I
People
saw
have been
that.
sending it to us. So it's rich that she's talking about all his secrets, but $100,000, honey.
It's a lot of strippers.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
A lot of go-go dancers.
No, that's a lot of candles.
That too.
and a lot of coffee.
Yes. What could you go in debt spending on?
Anything Instagram tells me to buy.
Oh,
or Facebook.
That's sad and honest, and I agree with that. They get
y'all know you do it. Y'all know you do it.
They get influenced.
Yeah. Instagram too. There's just something. There's something about it that they know me. They know.
Yeah, they're following your every move.
Also, though, I'm very cheap, so I'm never really going to go into debt.
You are very cheap. You are very, very cheap. But that's good. But hey, And TikTok, you don't have to worry about shopping on TikTok anymore because that's probably going on. Who the fuck knows? Don't follow us on there. We're still banned. We
We're
don't
still
know why.
banned. We had so much fun on TikTok. We had a lot of followers too. We think we're just going to start over. It's that bad. If
don't even
TikTok
want to do it
continues.
now. After
It's the-
all
it's
that's
the
said and
principle
done,
for you?
yeah, I deleted my. I didn't delete it, like the account, but I did. I took the app off my phone.
How brave!
Well, I'm just
How
like,
brave!
I'm like,
You're like, I didn't delete my
I'm gonna
account, but I took the app off my phone.
well, I didn't do that. I thought of it afterwards, and I was like, I don't want to reinstall and delete it. But I'm like, with everything going on, so just follow us on Instagram and on Twitter
Whatever.
because that's a great platform now too. God.
Whatever new platform pops up, because something will be the place. If TikTok goes away, something called, I don't know, Squirrel Vision or Popcorn Time.
Something called Doop Dop.
Beep beep boop.
Yeah.
Y'all,
Meep, like the Roadrunner. Meep.
We're coming up with our own app called Doobity Doop.
Doobity doo. Yeah. Have you been? Hey, did you just look at my new account I opened on?
On Raspberry.
Raspberry. Oh boy.
Oh, fucking bullshit. Y'all, we're here to talk about Happily Ever After season 8, episode 2, called "The Princess and the Pea Brain." I don't
Is
know
it Rob? Did the mom call him a pea brain?
probably Rob, who is
Rob
pretty
the
smally. We're gonna talk about her. Thank God she's on this season. We would have nothing without that woman.
Yeah, thank God she's quote in Austin with her
Visiting her boyfriend.
I enjoyed that we shared it on our story. Someone made a meme of just Rob's face on a doorknob, and I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed.
Could he be? I was thinking about just the scene work with him. Could he be the most joyless person we've ever had? Like, there's nothing in him that's inherently funny, even unintentionally so. There's nothing in him that's really super cringe funny. He's just not even boring. He's just, I just think he's humorless, joyless. I don't know, because he's so too cool. He's too cool for school.
Eric, maybe, of Lita and Eric.
But
he
no,
was
that
joyless.
was funny though, because you had her say shit like that to him, and she would shut him down, and he would be like, well.
But I know, but I'm just saying he was pretty joyless. But I think it's that Sophie is pretty boring on camera
agree.
too. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. It was whenever he had, what was it? I'm looking because I want to see if there's a playlist of it. But whenever you know what? They're the first couple, so let's do announcements before we get into them.
Y'all, we're on tour. Starting
Mhm.
April 3rd, we're opening the tour in Beantown, Boston. I don't know where we are.
Okay, yes, because Boston baked. I don't think I've ever had Boston baked beans. Do they taste like normal baked beans, like that we grew up with?
I don't know.
Well, I didn't
but
know.
You've never heard the term Beantown?
Yes, I have heard the term, but I actually thought about it. It was like, what else? Somebody else typed something the other day, and I went, "Oh, that's where that's from." I don't remember now, but we're gonna be in Boston, and then
New York
the 3rd,
City
New York City on the 5th, and then DC on the 6th.
Ellen and Joey from I Think Not. Heart attack.
And on our DC show, we're going to have our den mother, the OG, the reason why we cover 90 Day Fiancé. OG
She'll be there
fan,
at our live show.
Jackie Wiseman, den mother, will be there. So
I don't know if she'll do a segment.
no.
We'll just recognize her.
I would say, Jackie, do you want to do a segment? And she would go, I'm too tired. I don't have time.
She'll be there, though, if you want to fan her.
She will be there if you want to fan her and get your picture with her. She was open to that last year. Always ask, but I think she will be.
We're very excited about our first spate of live shows. The costumes are purchased. The music is being programmed.
For the most part, I got to get a couple more.
I thought we decided.
Yeah, but I didn't buy them yet. I was talking to
Okay.
you.
We better not have to very last minute scrounge. You know I don't like that.
Yeah. Don't act like you left your costume in the hotel room too in Philly. We both have done it.
I had to go back and get that Rocky costume.
I think you did it twice, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's a lot to remember.
There is.
That's when the Uber driver said, "Yeah, we're doing a Rocky thing." She's like, "You're not clowning on Rocky, are you?" Don't clown on Rocky.
Don't clown on Rocky. We're like, we're not clowning on Rocky.
She basically threatened me.
She did.
I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Also, y'all, if you are coming to our live show and you're not with a group of people, but if you're going solo, not a problem, because if you want to go solo and you want to meet people there, say we got Solo Sissy stickers made by Sissy Alyssa. A lot of S's in that statement.
A lot of S's in that. Mm-hmm.
Not good for gays.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be really cute. We'll be unveiling those soon. So, and if you don't want to let anybody know there, pull a poodle and just sit there and eat wet cigarette butts and get drunk. Perfect.
Whatever you want to do.
It's whatever you want to do. But we have had people who say, I'm a little intimidated about going by myself. You will not be alone at a reality gaze show. As soon as we start talking about dicks and cum, you're going to be fine.
You're going to be fine. You're going to find your people. Yeah. Seeking Sister Wife, that's on our cringe tier. We're loving it. Be sure to tune into that. Love After Lockup is coming back on April 19th. Oklahoma City bombing day. Sorry, I always have to say it.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I want people to remember. It's just etched in my brain.
But it's not.
I also think, isn't that Waco was April 19th as well? It's not a good day.
I don't know, but I every time there is a certain amount of people who bring up that date, but it's not like it's not everyone thinks that on the 19th.
Well, I think they should.
But there have been a lot of tragedies.
I know. It's sad when you think about it. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. We'll be at Podcast Movement this week. You can Podcast Movement Evolutions in Los Angeles. Come if you're a podcaster. Just don't buy a ticket and just show up. We're not doing live shows. We're not doing any of that.
We're doing a panel though.
We are, but you're going to want to hang out with us, and we're going to say, sorry, we've got to go meet with Spotify or Apple. Bye. Love you, but bye.
Us money. Maybe.
Wow.
Actually, this is kind of a way of saying, hey, how do we use your tech? That's what this meeting is for.
Christina is coming this year, and she already has a list of questions.
Can she just listen so we don't have to do anything?
Kind of, yeah, because I would love it. Wouldn't it be great if we're getting drunk at a bar while Christina's meeting with Apple, figuring all of our tech out? Oh,
perfect.
Oh,
she can just finger bang herself.
She loves it all. Anything else?
I think I just said before. My show's Seagull Song is closing this weekend. Oh, yeah. Closed on Sunday. We had a great run, and we're very happy, kind of with what the reviews said, and we weren't allowed to review it publicly because we were an equity showcase. But kind of the blogosphere in LA theater, we were highly reviewed.
Oh.
But
does that mean in the blog? Does that mean just at some old gay man's house, he had people over in his living room and said the show was good?
That's basically it, yeah. And he put it on the internet.
But that carries a lot of weight for theater queens.
Surprisingly, some people read that.
Yes.
We did have someone wrote a thing, and someone came because they read a couple of the reviews. We also had people who came back the second weekend. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? And I didn't even know them.
Well, what a deep, dark secret do they have in their lives?
The show is very affirmative. At the very ending, especially. My show's not as sad as you think it is. You're gonna tell everyone about it. You know what? You're gonna have to go on the podcast. Probably we'll record the single live, and you're gonna have to give an honest review in front of my face. And you can say things you don't like about it. I don't give a shit. You could say I didn't like the show, but
Why would I talk
will
about
have to
things
say.
that I don't like publicly and not support you?
Because it doesn't matter because the show's over.
But I want to support you. I wouldn't want to do that.
I want your honest feelings.
I might tell you my honest feelings in public, but I don't want to know if I want to say that. I don't want to ever like disparage you publicly.
Well, you know what to say. You know how far to go is what I mean. But I don't want you to sugarcoat it. If I went to something of yours, I'd be honest.
I don't want you to be honest.
It's probably not true.
I is this an Enneagram 4 thing where you tell someone how they need to have a response about something you made?
No, it's a me thing.
Oh.
No, I'm telling you, I want you to have an honest response and not. No, I think you'll do this already.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
Look,
I also know the piece is good. So
I like most of your shit. I think it's used most of the time. It's pretty good. So
most of the time,
what? There's
that sounded like yesterday. Yesterday.
4 years. I love it that we have a sissy who says that her husband and now their children. So I'm just like saying, and she says my kids and my husband don't even know what I'm talking about. But I'm just imagining like some little like eight-year-old kid walking around going
40
years.
I always see the word yesterday written down. I go, yesterday. Asante got out yesterday. From Love After Lockup and Renika. Yesterday.
I hope that Love After Lockup is just stupid. Because
this is Love During Lockup. It's one of our favorites.
And I don't know if Joey and Ellen have watched a Love During Lockup yet. Because I know that they're gonna come on the show and talk about it with us.
Yeah. That's we're having them on our show.
It's going to be fantastico. Any other?
No, let's go. Let's talk about the show. I'm going to do a corner after we talk about what's happening.
What? No, that's not what I want. It's not what I want. I had
music.
Start
talking.
I was going to play it, but it's fine. It tried to play Mary Poppins, the Broadway show, and that fucking sucks. I don't want to hear that show.
It wasn't that it was terrible. It was just a darker version. So you've seen it.
Oh, that might be that movie. The only musical that's the worst thing that I've ever, the only musical that was worse. You know what? I'm going to say this. At least Rock of Ages had camp in it and didn't take itself so seriously.
Rock of Ages is fun. You're
not
thinking
Rock
of
of
that
Ages.
Queen thing.
We Will Rock You. At least that knew it was
a terrible show.
It's a terrible show, but at least that knew it was being ridiculous. Mary Poppins took itself so seriously.
The source material does. Yeah.
The chimney sweep dance was great. It was fantastic, actually. But the storyline and like the mean, it was terrible. And the new songs were trash.
Unadulterated.
That's what that's how I'm going to talk about your show. Get ready.
Sure. Maybe refrain from saying anything's trash. How about that? I will say the choreography especially bothered me, especially supercalifragilisticexpialidocious number, because it was that kind of choreography where they think every syllable needs emotion and every needs a gesture. And after a while, I was so like overwhelmed, I couldn't handle it.
I agree, but the chimney sweep dance was when they dance on the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That was actually really cool. I will say there's, and I'm not a purist by any means. I actually loved Mary Poppins Returns. I thought that was a great film.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So I'm open. So I'm just telling y'all, I'm not being a cynical bitch. I'm just telling you, the musical's bad.
The musical adaptation tried to include more of the original source material from the P.J. Travers book. Yeah, and a lot of that was a little darker. Yeah.
Walt Disney he wasn't a great man, but he knew what he was doing on that film.
Yeah, cut the shit out about the mean nanny. No one wants to see
Yeah,
that.
nobody wants to see that.
Put in more Nazi subliminal messages.
Exactly. Exactly. Fucking Walt Disney.
I can't wait to freeze my own head.
Exactly. No, what I wanted to play is I wanted to play that with Rob and the way he leaves this place and he goes home and he's walking home. I wanted to play the orchestration of when Mr. Banks gets fired from the bank and then he has to walk home. Because that's how sad.
niche.
But how sad we was like do 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 do. Hi, Tarantula One. Do do do
Tarantula One.
do 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 do. Oh, hello, wedding ring that was forgotten. And when you're Rob the Knob, you're sad, and Sophie's mad. Rob, you are a loser, man.
Is that a song? Does he sing that?
A man, da, 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 da. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite songs from
I
Mary
don't
Poppins.
think about that song a lot. That's interesting.
Mary Poppins is the Disney movie I watch the very, very most as a child. Gay.
Because you had the Disney Channel, and that's all you were.
No, with Disney, but then I bought the cassette. Wore it out. We had the video. Wore it out. I had to buy another one. I can recite
signs you might have a gay child.
I can recite the whole thing.
I'm not going to ask you to.
I should get one of those snow globes with the bird woman.
Interesting, but you don't like birds.
You know what? I was watching that cooking show, the one I told you about, Glenn Close's daughter, Annie, and she was building a chicken coop in episode 1, and I thought they were kind of cute.
Well, what's happening to you?
I don't know. I'm like, it would be kind of nice to have, it would be nice to get fresh eggs.
No, you will not be able to touch them. I don't think you'll be able to handle, you'll have to, you have to move them off the when they're sitting on eggs. You have to like move them sometimes.
You know what'd be great?
Take them.
For me to live not too close to you, but far enough, kind of like now. But if I had a house and I had my own chicken coop,
you
could come
never
over.
Make it.
You could
never make it.
You could come over and collect the eggs, and I'd give you eggs.
You would never make it doing your own country lifestyle. I could do it. I could totally do it.
I'm not saying I want to. I don't want to do a country lifestyle. I'd want to live in the city, but just have a chicken coop. Just
you
fresh
can
egg.
do that.
I guess I could just buy fresh eggs from somebody. I need to be friends with a farmer.
Can we move on?
Oh, well. Yeah.
Thank you. So Rob, it's that Mark Ruffalo meme where he's just like looking around, sitting beside the pool.
Sad Rob.
Then when they're walking away from the selfie gallery, thank you all for validating me that the selfie gallery is the most absurd thing. And Austinites said, I've only ever seen tween girl birthday parties there.
Yes. Oh, speaking of validating, I mean, I'm not surprised, but I feel like we could start a sissy subgroup called Heating Pad Sissies.
Thank you. You made fun of me.
Oh,
Hashtag Team Heating Pad.
I will continue to make fun of you, and I will make fun of anyone that does the show with a heating pad. But there's a lot of you out there.
Y'all came to my rescue about me having a heating pad while doing the show. Everyone said heating pad is my favorite thing in the world.
Yes, you really
I'm on, and one woman said, I have 5 heating pads in my house right now.
One said, I'm listening to this right now with a heating pad on.
I promise you, you think it's for old people. We used to make fun. My mother used to make fun of my grandmother with her heating pad. And now my mother has a heating pad, and so do I. And I love it.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm just saying, get yourself one. You won't be able to do without it. Some people travel with theirs. I might.
You should travel with yours. That's actually a good idea with all the plane shit.
I know. Y'all, you're on the podcast with 2 people in their 40s, but you're talking about heating pads.
I was just looking at travel humidifiers this earlier yesterday.
So Rob says even if we do have problems, we should be at home working on those problems.
I care about the sanctity of marriage. And I went,
when he said
you
that, I was like,
cheated
that's
on her.
also just
I'm sorry, you online cheated on her.
Online cheated. The term sanctity of marriage, y'all, is just it's too loaded with all types of like people who don't only want men and women to get married, and people who say that why can't I marry a dog? It's
again, I don't want to keep saying it, but just the narcissism that oozes out this guy. Oof.
Yeah, he
But the martyrdom, he really is like a vulnerable narcissist. He is a master at being such a martyr. And that's, I bet he gets girls because he's hot. He keeps them because they feel sorry for him.
And he shames them into treating him badly. One thing I wanted to mention is I don't think the best way to work on your own problems is living in the same house. I think sometimes you need to fucking be apart to somehow process how living with another person has made you feel. I think
space can be a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I think just 2 months of
not talking,
no communication, that's not going to change anything.
But I'm saying not moving back into the same space could be healthy, because when she moves back in, or if she moves back in, it's in a different way. So it's like she's not necessarily, maybe they meet for lunch or they meet in a therapist's office. And then when she's ready, she can move back into a space, or when they're both ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about being in the same space to me. Yeah. But the problem here is I think he's still really jealous of Kay, her roommate.
Yeah.
So
you said Kay, and I immediately thought of Kay LaVey.
Kay LaVey! Where is she?
Love her.
She's on SoundCloud in the depths of the internet. So, y'all, Sophie basically says he wants me to go home and accept everything, and Rob says he's just greeting. It's his Tarantula 1 and Sport and Life Tarantula 2.
This is what I did feel sorry for them a little bit. They're in a cupboard in boxes. Like,
are you talking about the tarantulas or Rob and Sophie?
Yes. Can they get air? Can they get circulation in there? It feels like it would be hot.
I think the boxes have air holes in them.
But also, they look like small boxes. Don't you think that? I would at least, if I had a tarantula, I would at least get a cage that's at least like an 8.5 by 11.
It does seem they would be better in like a fish tank, or boy, the tarantula sissies, spider sissies are going to answer all these questions. The boxes were quite small. I agree.
I don't want a tarantula, but I really worried about them.
But you couldn't put them in there because they want to hurt each other in the same one. Yeah.
I wonder if they eat each other or they fuck each other like you would. Well,
no,
you would do both.
First you fuck them, then you eat them.
That's what food moves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, not the other way around, because you don't want to fuck a dead body. What's the point? So, and he says,
let's move on.
He says, how do you even lose your own wedding band? I just don't get it. Have you met Sophie?
Yeah, I mean, it is not even how do you, again, this is shit. How do you not even lose, but how do you just forget that you lost it?
Yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, Sophie is meeting Claire, her mother, at a bookstore. And boy,
Sophie, I don't know why my mom invited me. I've never seen her read a day in my life.
If you've ever wondered what's the difference between a meeting that's organic or a meeting that production sets up, this is it. So, and you know what? I think it's time for another installment of Happily Ever After Theater. I'll be playing.
We're not singing because we're apart.
Yeah, because there's a delay.
Your poodle doesn't like it.
I don't like it, and no one should. So,
all right. Poodle's going to play
I'll
Claire.
play Claire, the mother. You'll play Sophie.
Sure.
Okay. And action. Hello, darling. Hello. Thank you so much for meeting me at a bookstore.
Hey, Mom, how are you? Good to haven't really seen you read a lot, Mom.
Maybe take a little Cockney out of it because I'm the one who's more Cockney.
Well, I'm doing my British accent, Mom. It's Robin. How about you don't give me notes during the scene, you fuckwad?
Well, I just gotta tell you, I know your whole marriage is falling apart, and I came here to say,
Oh, yeah, I'm very sad. I'm very sad.
John said the L word to me. Can you believe it? He said he loved me. Oh, honey, I found love again. How's Rob the Knob?
I'm real happy for you, Mom. You're kind of dancing around like a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, you know what? All those times when you woke me up and made my own sick from overdosing, I feel like it was all worth it.
Yeah. You know what? It was better than being with Rob. I'm emotionally drained, Mom. I'm emotionally drained. He was, he's
Was
doing
he
the
just
same.
shouting? Was he shouting and yelling and just all kinds of things and
And
doing?
the gaslighting, yeah, just doing the same
So
thing.
you're definitely done with him, right? You're definitely done with him.
Well, he wanted to have another chat, so
What?
I'll probably talk to him a little bit, Mom.
No, you won't. No,
What?
you won't.
We'll talk to him and we maybe move back in. Yeah.
It won't. Nope, not gonna go.
You
It
don't
won't.
think it's going to work out?
It won't. It won't.
But I'm
Nope.
really trying.
Nope. No, you're not. No, he's not. It won't. You need to
Oh,
end it.
look, Mom, it's a Harry Potter book.
Who's that? Never heard of him. Was he in Parliament?
And scene.
My favorite part is when Mom kept interrupting him. Nope, it's not gonna work. Nope,
Nope.
nope, nope. He won't.
Nope.
He won't. He won't. He won't.
She's right. Y'all, we did a segment last week, What's Their Trauma? We find out more that Sophie says, my mom's overdosed before, and I basically had to save her life. And I thought, and that's why you will never give up on people and you will always
Try to fix people.
always. She literally is trying to bring her relationship back to life.
Take a moment and think about that. That is the only reason and Rob is good at finding people like this.
I don't
People
think,
like Rob are.
I want to use the word. Yes, good, but because she's an anxious
Expert.
attachment. He's an avoidant. He is, yes, I think more, but I don't think Rob is even doing this consciously. I feel like that's why I feel like what it is Rob is so desperately not able to love himself.
Yeah.
And that's so clear. He has no confidence. He feels like, I bet you, if you talk to him, he feels like I'm pretty and that's all that I am.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do anything else. And because he's compensating for that, he gets with these people that just he can suck dry to get validation.
I really hope we get some more info from his parents or family situation this season.
I don't know if that will happen. Actually, I do too. But when I think about it, I think he probably feels so much shame and so much fear around his life and who he really is. He never wants you to know.
That's a good point. We only saw his sister.
It is still interesting. I'm over it in a lot of ways, but it's still interesting to me that he is, like I've said it before, but I just want to say it again. He's not a big Ed. He's not a Bilal. He's a hurting people kind of situation. But the sad thing is, and you said this.
The same.
Well, you said this. He's a good-looking heterosexual man. Why is he ever going to go to therapy and work on himself?
100%. He will never find someone to challenge him. Yep.
Why would he do that?
Why would he? He'll never have to.
Yeah.
Do you think he's got a porn addiction?
I forgot about
nowhere. That part. This came out of
that
nowhere.
That felt like projection a little bit. Because she was saying that's what explain Claire's theory.
Well, it seems like an addict to me. With his, in other words,
with the cheating.
Yeah, with the cheating. And it's projection. But then Sophie had one of the best lines, and it may have completely been arbitrary, but she's like, I don't know if he has an addiction or a dick who likes to watch a lot of porn. It was a wonderful play on words there, darling. I loved it.
It was good. It was. I forgot about that.
What a bon mot.
We don't know.
She's a regular Truman Capote, that one.
She could be. I'm actually starting to catch up on that too. I saw a good episode.
I finished it.
Oh, does it end well? No, I mean, like, is it well done? The ending.
I was gonna say.
I know it doesn't end well.
You know what?
No spoilers, please.
Let's just jump into our corner about it, and I'll talk about it, and then I'll go on to the things. So this is a little bit of Capote and the Swans. It's time for another Poodles Television Corner.
I don't want spoilers though, because I'm only on episode 5. I think.
Okay, I won't spoil it. I loved this show and how it looked, how the costumes, the makeup, the hair, and how some stylistically, sometimes they didn't nail it, but I just loved this time they were trying to depict. I love seeing all these actresses just kill it and just chewing the scenery like Demi Moore, and Naomi Watts is a fucking vision. And if she's not nominated, if she doesn't win the Emmy, there'll be a problem, because she's just killing it. And also Diane Lane's been killing it as Slim Keith.
She's great.
But I loved like the first 3 episodes. You know who I did not love is Tom Hollander playing Truman Capote. Everything was just too relentlessly sad. And
he is playing the trope of sad homosexual.
Yeah, and not that I think there was a lot of sadness in Truman Capote's life, but I feel like,
we should explain why you're thinking to people that maybe aren't aware, just because you've seen a lot of gay
the
cinema,
sad homosexual,
and I've seen
I've seen a lot.
That's just a trope that happened a lot in like the 80s and 90s.
Especially the tortured homosexual who lives in the 50s, 60s,
Yes,
70s.
yeah,
Because you could not be yourself.
And they end up usually dying or come to it like. So there's this kind of trope that a lot of queer people are kind of wanting to fight back against. Well, I'm on the fence about it because that was the reality for a lot of them. That was the
reality. And his life was very much that way. I think they're playing it. There's something about, and Philip Seymour Hoffman obviously played him at a very different time in his life when he was writing In Cold Blood. But there's something that feels like, why would any of these women want to keep him around?
I agree with that.
There's that.
Like there's not a likability.
Yeah, him. It's totally that, and he's fun kind of when he's in scenes with them sometimes, but he's miserable otherwise, and it just, I don't know. I think the best episode was when he was in there with James Baldwin. That was a really interesting episode.
I think that's the next one I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I think. I've heard the guy that played James Baldwin was incredible. He was
incredible. Nailed the, especially if you've ever seen the William Buckley. What was it? William Buckley, James Baldwin.
Did they make a biopic of him? Of his life?
I don't.
No, they made a film of Beale Street, which was wonderful.
Yeah, the Beale Street. That was his novel. Is it the William Buckley, James Baldwin debates or those conversations? Yeah,
I've seen clips of those.
But that was a great episode. The black and white ball was a great episode. Other than that, it had really wonderful moments. It does come to a conclusion that I think is okay, but at the same time, you're kind of left thinking, what was this all for? But it's remarkable. The last 2 episodes, I think, handled cinematically and dramatically the topic very well. Yeah, the penultimate episode to me was the best of the series. I don't know. The Maisels was really good, where they were doing the documentary.
The writing, I like the writing for the most part. Sometimes I feel like the writing sometimes got a bit verbose. Like the writing was trying too hard a little bit. It was trying too hard to be witty.
That's what's his name who did Brothers and Sisters. Fuck.
I don't know. I saw the episode I just watched directed by Gus Van Sant.
Oh, he did all of them.
Oh, he did all of them.
Yeah.
So that's really my only big critique. It's some of the language. I'm noticing the language and not what people are saying, and it takes me out of the moment.
Anyway, I need to talk about something even more important.
You cannot talk about your role play again. You did that in the first episode. I will not hear it.
Why is this? I'm trying to find out who wrote the show Brothers and Sisters.
Why don't you talk and I'll look?
Now it's not going to give me. Fuck. Where is it? Here it is. John Robbie Bates. Thank you. People were always screaming already.
I don't know if everyone walks around thinking about John Robin Bates writing
His
Brothers
friends call
and
him
Sisters.
Robbie. I was introduced to him once at a party.
Yeah, I don't think that's on the tip. Look, I'll give you that I don't know a lot of common things. I don't think that's in
I
the
am not a smart man.
That is not in the guy or in the common vernacular for people.
Fine, y'all. If you like anything about trigger warning, child abuse, child sex abuse, if you are interested in that period of time of Nickelodeon in the 90s, early aughts, even mid-aughts sometimes, the shows of Dan Schneider, it goes behind that and showed how what it was like to be a woman writer sometimes in some of those shows, and how there was a dialect coach who what's his name, something Peck, who was basically there would just be pedophiles on those sets, and they would like get close to kids, and it is a riveting couple months, like 3 or 4 episodes. Right now, I think it's up to 4 episodes, and of course, I fell asleep watching it last night, because that's how.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, if you love anything related to Hollywood like this and backstory, it is whoa, and it is. And at one point, Drake Bell, the dialogue coach, says, "Yeah, this guy basically sexually assaulted me in every possible way when I was between the ages of like 13 and 15." And so they're basically talking about how they found out, and then the guy and all these people wrote glowing letters for him, saying he could have never done that. That he must have been facing some kind of temptation. It is incredible, and big name people like James Marsden, and people who had worked for him, and Joanna Kearns wrote one too. And then later on, they asked Joanna Kearns, they're like, "Do you still stand by it?" She's like, "You know what? I would have never written something. Now that I see all this, I'm so sorry I wrote something like this. I was given bad information."
James Marsden, wasn't he really young when all this happened?
Yeah, he was teen star too. But I'm saying and who knows if it had been coercion for other people. They don't know about the limits for this guy. Anyway, it is very eye-opening, especially how Dan Schneider created this kind of toxic environment. Talked about where basically very sexual environments, and also there were scenes where they showed where there was like people would have like a foot fetish, and like people would do weird things. They would write about that on all that, and they're like, "Why did I have to be on stage in a unitard?" And the kids would saying, and there was one thing where I put a pickle in a door frame, and then someone took it and looked like a glory hole. Like when you go back and see how sexualized everything was, you're just like, holy fuck.
Is Dan Schneider a pedophile?
They haven't gotten to that yet, but he just treated people so poorly. If you read Jeanette McCurdy's book, she's they do show her a little bit in there, that she calls him the creator in the book. And he ran the world that they lived in, and they spent their whole time not trying to piss off Dan Schneider. It is incredible. I highly recommend it. Obviously, if you have issues, anything related to child abuse, sexual abuse, stay away. But it's an incredible watch. Unflinching look at how
Or
this was able to go on.
yeah, or you don't have to stay away. It could validate your own experience, but
That's what I'm
whatever you're
saying.
comfortable with. Yeah,
I'm just telling people, if you think you're ready for something like that,
but it's a lot. You're saying it's intense.
it's a lot and it's intense. And we've said this before. Sometimes we need to be challenged with things. You yourself know if you're okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my upbeat corner.
It's still it's hard with things like this when they come out because so much nothing changes still through the stories of it.
Yep. Dan Snyder doesn't really have a career anymore, but yeah.
It just I don't.
And then the worst part is people like Ariana Grande, they haven't even spoken out because they don't think they can. Because there's so many people still in that. Because if you talk, your career's over. It's terrible. Maybe not Ariana Grande at this point, but
No.
I think once this fully comes out and we've had a little distance, I think we're going to see people starting to talk more. Yeah. When Drake Bell talked, it was incredible.
Yeah,
Because he's had a lot of problems. Substance abuse, alcoholism, all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go on in with Nicole and Miss Mood.
Actually, what we just talked about felt happier than this.
Yeah.
Boy.
Well, you were talking about the similar feeling that you had. What do you think in this? What describe your feelings now that you're kind of looking at this?
Well, first of all, I want to say it's kind of like a prologue or preamble, but that we know now with the allegations that have come out with Nicole and Miss Mood and all that kind of stuff. And so we've already said at the first episode, like, trigger warning but I want to say it for the first couple episodes. So trigger warning it's not in this episode, but for DV assault, just because that's going on. And so I'm going to say, though, I'm going to come hard a little bit for Nicole on this episode. But I do not, and I know you are too, I do not mean it. I want to make sure this is not read as like she brought anything as far as abuse on herself.
Yeah. That's not what we're saying.
That is not what I mean at all. I think Jake and I were talking about this, what we think can hopefully be helpful, because I was watching this and then I went back again and watched their segments with kind of like my psychology hat on a little bit. And I think it's so there's a lot of textbook moments of how the cycle of abuse, like, it doesn't start with the physical. It starts with emotional ways and things like that. And how maybe we can see that through this.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that's part of the sick feeling that I'm feeling. Mainly was, I kind of saw it. And as last season went on, I saw it more and more. And then we really saw it in the tell-all. But you do see that Nicole is punishing Mahmoud for all the sins of people in her past.
Full stop.
Like, she wants to call this guy out. It doesn't seem like she has empathy for his experience at all. I'll be honest.
I'm going to go further than you. This whole tour to America for him is a revenge tour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is saying, she even said this, I hope Mahmoud will realize that this is what I felt like in Egypt, to be without anyone,
And I went,
and it's also
not the way you talk about somebody you love.
No, it's also a reversal in power dynamic. And what got me is when they were at the airport, y'all, she's like, kiss me, motherfucker.
That was gross.
And this is someone who lives in a country and has a lifestyle where you don't show public affection, and it goes against a lot of his values.
It's not about his location. It's about his what you just
And
said.
his fucking boundaries.
Values don't change if you move to another country.
This what is an extension of what happened in the tell-all and what happened in her previous season, which made me furious.
Just everything. I was watching this going, okay, I'm codependent. So I would change everything. Well, the old me would change everything to make someone comfortable if they came here. But there was just so much that she's trying to get him to fucking like make out with her at the airport. She's wearing a skirt that shows her belly button. She has a painting of a woman with a vagina bush in her apartment. Like, it doesn't feel like
everything was to fuck with him.
It doesn't feel like she made any compromise of thinking, oh, this person is, if you think about the way, like, very different. But yes, she was shitty to him a lot. But Emily, in last season, what she at least was like, you could tell she loved him. Like, what's it going to be like for Kobe to move to Kansas and be the only like African man?
Right.
Like, that to me is like, for Nicole, I'm like, I don't see where you love him.
Yeah, to me, love for her is playing some kind of power dynamic game and seeing if he will still love her, and testing boundaries. When she said, I highlighted this, Mahmoud's in America, I can do whatever I want. I was like, uh-oh. And then later on, I wrote this down. He's like, close up your stomach. And she's like, oh, come on, I don't have to do anything now that I want. And he said, and I wrote down, did she intentionally wear something that showed her midriff just to push his buttons? And I said, of course she did.
Of course she did.
Because, y'all, I'm not trying to say she's with this man, she should dress like he wants her to do. I'm not saying that. But to pick up the guy at the airport and...
Well, it's just when you love someone and care about their experience, you do. Now, again, you can go too far with it, but there has to be a little bit of, well, because then too, the way she ragged on him, she's like, I'm really angry that you didn't sleep on the plane. And I thought, I don't, unless I take like fucking medicine and I'm in first class or a seat that lays down, I'm not sleeping on a plane. I can't sleep like that.
I am really interested in the general audience response to this, because it is so clear to me what's happening here, and it's revolting. And I wonder if people will see it. I don't know. They'll only see. Maybe they'll think that they're happy together. Then
I mean, maybe she's doing it too, because it sounds like we're going for her. We can't forget. I do think he was terrible to her in Egypt, and the fact the way he would either like be so passive aggressive and say, "Oh, that's fine," and then turn around and want complete total conformity with what he wanted.
We went hard for him too.
Yeah. So I'm just reminding us. Well, I bring that up to like, is that another reason why she's so like just from the gate, like, nope, because she felt like he did that to her.
Well, that's not what love is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Later on, she kind of talks about like, Mahmoud, you can't do like in Cairo, where that savage country where people just drive across, and sometimes they're camels. I don't know if that's possible. Where she was, I saw a lot of cars when they were in Cairo, but the way she talks about it, and anyway, she says, and you got to wear your seatbelt. You'll get in trouble with the police otherwise. So y'all, she's basically controlling every aspect of his environment and keeping him under her thumb, which she thinks that's what he did to her.
Yes. It's even like they're driving in the car and they're really quiet, and she's like, I was so excited. I know how exhausted he is, but I'm just sitting. She's thinking, I start to go in this doomed area of my brain. Like, if he's homesick, maybe he will never like it. And it's like, okay, you're already going there. She gets to the apartment and they make a joke about, because she has all these pillows, and Miss Mood's like, how did you get?
I've made this joke before.
Welcome to being a straight man married to a woman in America. That is one thing that was actually normal. There's a lot of pillows on those beds.
But you take them off and when you sleep. I don't know. I think it's just ridiculous.
I like a few pillows. They look cute. Makes your bed look cozy. But like, what's the big deal about?
Also, where are they? They're in NoHo, right? This looked like North Hollywood.
No, Sissy commented they're on East Side. At least all the stores she went to were there.
Really?
In the Los Angeles, we have a Sissy subgroup of Los Angeles sissies.
So Burbank.
And they were saying they were like in East Hollywood, all that not East Hollywood, but like on the other side of the 5, I believe, like Atwater Village.
It looked like Western. They were driving up. It looked like Western, kind of the going through Vermont, that area. It looked that area. No one gives a shit about this.
But they're not. No, but they're not in the valley. Come on, you think she would live in the valley? Of course, she wants to live in. And of course, she wants to live on the fucking east side.
Y'all, he's got. I still feel like the nude painting, and also, did you notice the shower curtain? The shower curtain has nude people all over it too. And I'm not trying to be a prude about it, but it's just like you knew it's
you
almost
knew
like,
that he's not comfortable with that. Like, can't you just? What's the big deal about just draping a piece of fabric or cloth over the naked mannequin? And I know it's not a real person, and I wouldn't. We're bringing up all these things. I don't think you and I are saying that she needed to do all these things.
I don't want to make excuses for him.
Well, no, it's not that she needed to do all these things, but it was the fact that she didn't compromise on any of these things.
No. But that's when she said that statement. I know you're tired. I'm so irritated. You didn't sleep on the plane. You want some pizza?
It was just.
Oh God! This to me was the Act 1 ending of August Osage County, where she went, "I'm in charge now, bitch."
That's a good ending,
right to Mahmoud.
But also the pajamas. She got him just fucking boxer shorts. I thought when she gave him pajamas, she was going to give him like a pajama set so he felt clothed. Because that's what he's used to.
She's fucking with his head, y'all.
She gave him just fucking used boxer shorts. As a lot of sissies
she
said,
bought them at a thrift store.
Who buys thrift store? I mean, I guess you can buy thrift store pajamas, but still. A lot of sissies thought that was
I think
odd.
she's an exclusive thrifter. Like everything she needs. Y'all, I will say Nicole is definitely an Enneagram 4. We can smell her own in this case. She is definitely in the club. I don't like to claim her, but she's definitely in the club.
And then she says at the end, she's like, I just hope he can understand all the sacrifices that I did.
Y'all, I'm gonna say this now. The feeling that I had during their season is back with a vengeance. Every episode, I hated covering them.
It almost feels like I wonder if she's had physical abuse in her past before. Because it makes me wonder, like, if that's part of her pattern. Again, I'm not saying she, but I'm saying we find, people that get in abusive situations can get in other abuse because they are just recreating the pattern.
Yeah. We've said before, something went wrong, and it's not like it's like heavy shit.
Like her parents were in a cult or something, or she was in a cult, like something really dramatic and not fun.
But let's talk about something more fun.
Literalmente.
I'm gonna say that literalmente. Y'all, he's like, we've been married almost a year, and there's zero progress concerning the children.
Again, I guess it's got resolved in the tell-all, so it's like, but I guess it's their plot point. I don't know.
Well, Manuel says they know about my marriage to you, and I'm going to start preparing them to introduce you to their second mother. I'm like, I think you're gonna start doing it. He could have doing it.
It is. I still say it is weird. Yes, he's gone through a lot and he has culture, but they've been married for a year.
Yeah.
And they haven't like made 1 inch with his children. That is
Well,
weird and shady to me.
I'll tell you this now. Culturally, for Manuel, he doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do. He doesn't tell you anything he doesn't want to tell you.
Oh, for sure.
And it's always going to be this way, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Always. He ain't going to change.
Yeah.
Who you have now is who you got.
Yes, because he is. I don't think he's a bad guy or anything, but I actually kind of doubles down of how when we first met him, I was like, I feel like either he's using her or he's hiding something. I don't think he's using her anymore. I think he loves her, but I do think he is deceptive and will hold on to secrets and keep her in the dark in life.
At one point, she says she's fighting with him, and she's like, he said, I'm trying to make my kids feel safe and comfortable. They had a hard time with me going to Rochester. And she's like, why don't you tell me anything about them? And he says, if you don't ask me, I don't have to tell you. It just makes her crazy.
Which is really shitty.
A bitchy thing to say.
Also, his kids are 12 and 14. That gave me more pause. It's not like they're young and not going to understand things. Like, to me, it really feels like it's not. I actually think he's using his kids as a shield. I feel like there's a reason that he doesn't want to tell this.
Yeah. I think he is.
Is he still married to their mom?
No, I think he's two different people. I think when he's with her, he has to be someone who is. I think he's afraid to see his two boys see their father maybe not the alpha
possibly,
to someone like Ashley.
That's a good point.
And not to be the one who has all the answers. I think he's the one, and I think he's embarrassed to see the kids where he doesn't make anything in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's embarrassed to be in the situation he's in. And I think the less he can involve her, the more he doesn't have to think about it when he's talking to his kids, because the kids still see him as like the successful father hero.
It really is like, maybe he'll be fine with it. I don't want to put things in his, because I like Manuel, but he is so, I feel like sometimes culturally, he feels like a 70-year-old American man. And I mean that, like, as they go through life, like if they have decide to have children, like if they had a kid that was like queer or gay, like he just seems so stoic and resolute in his thinking and not mutable at all. And that is a complete opposite
malleable.
Or malleable. Sorry, malleable. Mutable sign. Sorry. And whereas Ashley is so, I mean, she's got her own anxiety, but she's almost too loosey-goosey. There could not be more opposite.
Well, it's because it's based on her self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, at one point they're fighting, and she's like, I can't go in here. You take the keys. They're in my purse. And what he says, and it always works with her. He's like, oh, Rico Suave, your mother's being dramatic again.
And he's also kind of like, this is where he gets him to laugh, because he's, as she says, I just see deflection, loads of, and he does. He just constantly is deflecting things. And he's like, nah, like, but I think he might be a little drunk too.
Maybe.
But you can see her trying not to laugh at him. So I'm not saying it's for audacity, but it seems like part of him feels like she doesn't really care that much. She'll get over it. And you kind of see that she probably eventually would get over it.
No, I agree with you. Then he says, now I'm even more pressed to look into his past. And this is going to be the drama this season. Woo!
Her spidey senses are going, oh, if I was her, I'd be calling my cousin Kelly. We'd be running background checks. We'd be figuring it all out. All out.
I don't think he's got a lot to say. I don't think he's still married to the wife, or even if he ever was. I don't know. I don't
don't think she was very involved, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
I
what he
don't
said.
That's the show.
That's a show, boy. What a ride. I'm exhausted. Goodness, y'all. So much happened on this episode. All right. You know the drill. Go to realitygaze.com for find information about our social media, where if you want to find us on Instagram, you can go to our link tree to find out show tickets or to get tickets for our show. You can also go to patreon.com/realitygaze. You can also find us on Supercast. And what is that? I should look that up. And you can find us on Apple subscriptions as well. I think it's just if you go to patreon.com/realitygaze, or you can go to realitygaze.supercast.com for our RG Plus content, or to hear this show commercial free for what?
For your pleasure.
We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places, Poodle?
Yes. And if you are not sure if your boyfriend has a porn addiction, or is he just a dick who likes to watch a lot of porn, you can call us.
Call us.